big day. I'm really excited to go now. A little bit nervous if I'm honest. Definitely a little bit nervous now. 8:45, so I'm gonna go in about 15 minutes. I'm feeling good, done my rolling out. I've been to the toilet as well, which is absolutely great news. If I need to pull a Radcliffe, I'm absolutely doing a leg slide. I ain't pulling over for that. I keep bringing myself back to, I've just got to focus on my pace. I've accumulated a lot of hours running at that pace through my training plan. When I keep thinking about that, it really settles me down because I know I can run at that pace, no problem. It's just whether I can run at it for the distance. Obviously, I've never ran that distance before, but I'm ready to go. Like, I've been training so hard for this. I put everything into it, so ultimately whatever happens, I'm gonna be happy with because I genuinely feel like I couldn't have done much more, to be honest. Sub 3 hours, that's what I'm hoping for. I wanted to speak about something in the way that I'm preparing my mindset for this because I want to make sure that it comes across that I'm being genuine. Obviously, I haven't set out yet, and I didn't want to do it after my run because I felt like it might be a little bit obvious to people saying, oh, you're only just saying that because like you finished your run. Basically, the mindset I'm getting myself in, I spoke about this a little bit before, but for me, I'm not recommending anyone do this, but ultimately I feel like you've got to know yourself when it comes to competition or whatever. So the mindset I've got myself in for this is I'm trying to go into the race being as calm as possible. Like for me personally, if I start listening to like some kind of intense music or like motivational speeches or whatever, what that does for me then is I start getting into my ego. And what my ego does personally, I suppose everyone's really, but obviously it's a defense mechanism, so naturally it will heighten your expectations of yourself. It will tell yourself that you're better than you are naturally. That's just kind of how we're programmed. So for me, I don't want to get into that mindset because when that time comes in a race where either I hit the wall, which is probably inevitable, or it comes to that point where I'm really hurting, then my ego is going to get shattered because I'm no longer this kind of really strong person that I've been convincing myself I was before. I'm no longer this untouchable person. So what happens when you get to that point, in my experience, my confidence completely crashes. So the way I'm going into this is kind of, I've put myself through meditating and through training into all these uncomfortable positions so that when I come into the race now, nothing's going to be alien to me, and I've put myself in these positions before, mimic them as best as I possibly can do, and I've just accepted it. I've accepted I'm human. Simple as that sounds. I don't know whether I can do this or not, but I don't need to convince, I don't need to tell myself, oh, you're going to do it, you're going to do it. Like a few people have messaged me and I really do appreciate the support, but they're saying, oh, you're definitely going to get that sub 3 hours. And I really, honestly, I really do appreciate it, genuinely. But for me, I don't want to believe that because, how do I word this?
One eternity later.
Yeah, so I don't want to give myself this full sense of confidence because I don't need to. Like, I know I'm going to hurt in that, but I think ultimately when that happens, when it comes to that point in the race where I'm hurting, I'm going to be happy with it and I'm going to be comfortable being uncomfortable, if that makes sense. But I don't need to convince myself, don't need to give myself this full sense of confidence to kind of give me that boost to work harder, because you've got to know yourself. And I know myself personally, when it comes to something competitive, I know I'm going to give absolutely everything I have. It's just kind of, it's something I've always had, that kind of natural like competitiveness. So I know that about myself, so I don't need to keep telling myself I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, because if I start doing that, then I'll start to believe it too much. And when it comes to the place where in the race where I'm hurting, then I'll start to question, can I do it, and then my confidence is going to shatter. I know that about myself, so I just thought I'd share that with you. I'm going back now, going to get my cousin, then we're going to meet my brother. Got all my nutrition, everything's gone smoothly so far, so I'll see you guys in a bit. To be honest, I reckon that rain's good, like when we got that rain out the way.
Yeah, because it started raining. I looked at the weather forecast the other day and it was like, all the rain comes in one day. And then...
So just on the way now to train station to meet my brother, introducing Andre, my cousin, to the vlog, who's going to be helping me out. He's going to be giving me all the gels and essentials. I'm feeling a little bit nervous, but ultimately I'm ready to go, ready to put myself to the test. We'll soon see whether I can run sub 3 hours or not. So meet my brother there. My brother's going to be cameraman. Andre here is going to be the gel boy. You're nothing but a little water boy.
My dick is as big as a tent peg.
That's good to know, water boy.
Introducing my brother to the vlog, is my lucky omen. What do you reckon? Do you reckon I'll get sub 3?
4 hours 25.
Perivale Station, where I'm at the minute. The route is what I'm going to take. I'm going to go from the canal from Perivale, go all the way down towards Marylebone, come back towards myself, go towards Hayes, and then once I'm at Hayes, go towards Ealing, so basically West London. It's a route I know very well. First ever marathon, got cameraman Sam over there, water boy Andre over there. The squad, dream team. Ready to go, a little bit nervous, but let's get it. Ready, lads? Yeah.
Let's go.
Right, do need to put my Strava on there, that would help. Right, Strava's ready. Ready on, Jeff?
The first gel exchange of the day. This is what we pay the big money for. ITV2 marathon racing, brought to you by the good people of Evans Cycles and Vaseline, because that's what I'm going to be needing later on my arse from cycling Gonz-One. Oh wow, what a fantastic exchange. That's what we pay the money for. Breathtaking technique.
Breathtaking technique.
Last 10k. 2 hours 11. Legs starting to feel heavy now, but I'm running the fastest I've run all run. Feeling good. Ready to go to war.
Ready to go to war. Ready to go to war.
Come on. That's 3 Olympic tracks left. It's downhill. Last bit now. He's done it. Go on.
2:56. Go on, son. All that fucking hard work. Hay fever's playing him up.
So the last 4K, my legs just went. Like nothing in my legs at all. But I just push through. I don't know, people work their life for it. Literally work their life. I've done it for 10 months. That's it, man.
Been grinding for mama and papa, bro. Can't wait to.
It's the day after my marathon attempt. I'm walking through Richmond Park to try and stretch my legs a little bit. I'm absolutely hobbling around, but it was all worth it. I think Andre's a little bit sore as well from riding the bike. I think it's the first time riding the bike for ages, and couldn't really talk yesterday. In all honesty, I was a little bit overwhelmed, as you've probably seen when I was coming down the home straight. I think the whole, pretty much up the last 500 metres or so, I basically just started crying, which I did not expect at all, but I was just feeling overwhelmed, and I think at that point I just realised I'd done it. Now, it was the best feeling, honestly, like best feeling in the world. I still can't really like describe it. It was just kind of, I think the realisation, like I said, when I was coming towards the finish line, and I knew how hard I worked in the build up to that, to get to that point, and it was just kind of all coming to realisation. Then I started thinking about why I was doing it, like with my granddad and everything. All those days where I didn't want to go out and I forced myself to go out, whether it's like pitch black or raining, whatever, and I still forced myself to go out. All those things added up, and like I'm just kind of like saying it because I'm basically just trying to give someone who's watching this, like wants to kind of go after something, like this is the first thing really that I've ever given absolutely everything for. And it was like the best, like I said, the best feeling of my life. Like when I done that, and there was no crowd there or anything. It was just like a personal achievement, something that was personal to me. I went through a little bit when it was originally cancelled, where I was kind of feeling down for myself. I was like, oh, I don't really, you know, feeling sorry for myself, whatever. Then I started listening to like an excessive amount of David Goggins and people like that, people that just kind of like grind all the time, and I realised that I didn't have to accept like a victim's mentality about it. Anyone that's watching this that's like wanting to like do something for themselves, like all those days where you don't feel like you're up for it and you still do it, as soon as you start, that feeling kind of goes away anyway, and you feel better for it. But all those days, I think, is where the most progression's made, because if you have a day off that day you're not feeling it, it can kind of start a little bit of a rut. From my experience anyway, like if I have one day off, I'm more likely to have the next day off, but you just got to kind of keep that momentum going. All those days you don't feel good or don't feel confident, whatever, just keep grinding at it, and eventually you'll get there. And yeah, I'm still a bit surprised I managed to get that time, and I wasn't really 100% sure if I could do it, hence like the way I was speaking before the run, but I knew in my head that I'd give it absolutely everything, and I did. And those last 10k was like torture, but to be honest, I had like, the run went like that, I was in like flow state from the whole time. So enjoyable, and it was so hard, but I kind of, after the half marathon point, I had so much confidence. I was kind of like talking to myself, like, and I was thinking around like about 3k in a row, which was sub 4 minute kilometers, like 3:54, 3:58, 3:59 it was. And then yeah, I was just flying at that point, feeling really confident. My confidence, as soon as I got to the half marathon bit, from like 21k to around 30k, I was just like, confidence was sky high, and I think I realised I had a chance of doing it then. I recorded 4 minutes 37 kilometre, I think, and then, but it wasn't like through, I didn't do it on purpose, I wasn't deliberately coasting. I think I just lost concentration for a few minutes, and as soon as I saw the time, it kicked me back into action and I sped up again. So I suppose a few of you are thinking like, what's next now I've done this thing? And one of my mates said to me actually a few weeks ago, he was like, I kind of feel like when you get to that point, like I suppose it's up with that Tyson Fury thing, when you finally got to the level he was at, not that I'm anywhere near that kind of like world level or anything like that, but as soon as you set yourself that goal, you think, what's next? You need something else. And I am doing the marathon, proper marathon in Paris, which I've said I'm going to do, so I'm going to do that. That'll be in April, so I'm going to give myself not a few weeks off, but kind of let my body recover a little bit. So take my time off running. I think I'll do a lot more kind of weighted sessions, go back in the gym, because I feel a little bit deprived of all that at the minute. I've only been in the gym like 2 to 3 days a week maximum, so I'm feeling about getting in some big sessions, probably start playing football on the weekends in the meantime again. I'm going to be doing much more marathon related videos, and I'm going to go through my whole journey again in my training to the Paris Marathon. I haven't yet set myself a goal of what time I want to get, but you best believe I'm going to try and definitely improve from the time I got. Maybe sub 2 hours 50, we'll see. I mean, I've surprised myself at just starting running in January and getting to the point I am now, where most people work for years to be able to get to sub 3 hours. Sounds a bit wishy-washy, but I hope I've inspired a few people anyway. But yeah, if you enjoy the content, if you want to see more, subscribe, drop the video a like if you've enjoyed it, and I suppose I'll see you guys next time.